I really wanted to mention this topic of something that reduced a great amount of my anxiety. So say you've done everything in the book, or you've watched this channel and you've put in a lot of tips and time and you've tried these different strategies and you're great now. You're not at a 10 anymore for anxiety, but maybe you're still at a 4, maybe you're still at a 5. Well, what I'm about to tell you today should help you get down even further down into maybe the 1s, 2s, and 3s as far as anxiety goes, which means 10 being the worst, 1 being relatively manageable, 2 manageable, 3 manageable, and things like that. Now, you're never going to get rid of all your anxiety. You can definitely get rid of a lot of it, but there's still going to be, the old patterns that occasionally creep up when you're faced with a new quote unquote threat, or whatever your mind calls a threat. So let's talk about what I did. And I didn't even do it on purpose. So what happened was, I stumbled upon it on accident. So what happened so we live in a house with 3 boys and 2 adults. I was constantly had a level of stress and anxiety, and I couldn't figure out why. All I knew is that there's always something to be cleaned, always something to be fixed, always something to be moved, always something to be changed in our house. And I was like, and I read this quote that said, if you can't clean up your kitchen in like 10 minutes before you go to bed, you have too much stuff. Or write your house in like 15 minutes, you have too much stuff. And I really thought about that. And then I started studying decluttering and how people got rid of stuff. And I started getting rid of things. It's almost like our stuff lied to us. Our stuff was supposed to, all the things we bought it in an attempt to either entertain us, to make us feel better about ourselves, to heal us, to help us. And it didn't do that. It didn't do that. It failed. Our stuff failed us. So I started really thinking about that. And I went through the house and I started just getting rid of stuff. I went through really everything. Getting rid of doubles is one of the first things you can do. But pretty much anything that wasn't used, 80% of the time, we only use the same 20% of the stuff. We only wear the same 20% of the clothes. We only play with the same 20% of the toys. So I went through and I just started getting rid of stuff. There was just so much excess that it was like, I would ask my questions like, from the Minimal Mom, hey, do you want to manage this? From Joshua Becker, hey, what else can you use? What can you use instead of that? And through that process, I started going through the living room, the kitchen, the dining room, all these different areas, and getting rid of a lot of stuff. Just getting rid of it, donating it, recycling it, whatever I could, throwing it out. And so through this process, I started studying minimalism. And I'm not here to sell you on minimalism. There's a lot of channels that can do that. And I don't mean minimalism as in, I was listening to this book yesterday, and it's about this Japanese man, and he has one like hand towel that he uses to wash everything with, like he uses to do all his pots and pans with, all his dishes, plus dry himself with when he gets out of the shower. That to me is, I don't want to say the dark side of minimalism, but that's too much for me. That's not what I'm going for. Minimalism to me is just getting rid of the excess to make room in your life for things that bring you calm, bring you peace, and for things that you love. That's it. It's like Marie Kondo says, do you love this? So that's another question you can ask yourself when going through your stuff. So the surprising thing that happened, not only was my house unbelievably easy to clean after, but the amount of a level of anxiety left me. It was, I don't want to say crazy, but it was kind of crazy how it brought me to this next level. Now, I'm not saying that if you do this, a lot of your anxiety is going to go. No, I think there's a process, and there's a process I went through. There's a process, like it talks about in the book, where I'm confronting the health anxiety. There's a process where you learn to battle the health anxiety monster. There's a process where you learn to, instead of running from the feelings that you have with anxiety, you learn to just face them, to face the feelings and say, what am I feeling right now? How anxious am I? What am I trying to run from? But once you do that, if you're still feeling somewhat anxious occasionally, or you're still feeling stressed, you still have this level of stress on you, take a look at your environment. Take a look at it and see what you can get rid of. And I'm telling you, like the living room now, the purpose for the living room is, every room needs to have a purpose according to Joshua Becker. He's a big famous minimalist. So every room needs a purpose, and the living room is a place where I can sit down, read, relax, or watch TV, or play a game with my family. That's it. That's the whole purpose of it. So kept those things, got rid of the rest. The dining room is where I work. I do homeschool with the kids, or we color, and draw. That's it. I mean, we also eat there, but that's it. Nothing else is in that room. Everything else is gone. So, and there's even minimalism for homeschooling as well, which I've implemented, which is you just keep things simple, reading, writing, arithmetic, and then the extra whatever history, because we love to read about history, things like that. So keeping your life simple will keep your anxiety manageable. It'll definitely help you. So again, there's a lot of channels out there that are great for minimalism. We are not a minimalism channel. This is just for health anxiety. And if you want to have a free consultation with me, go ahead. I'm not a therapist, I'm just a coach. But if you want to have a consultation with me, go ahead. It's free. And I can try and listen to your story, and I can give you some tips and advice about what I have. And if you want to work with me beyond that, you're welcome to it. And if not, that is okay. All right, guys. So we'll talk to you soon in the next video. Take care. Can you say, please like and subscribe?
Please like.
And hit the bell for notifications.
Hit the bell for notifications.